She used to cry quietly, never loud enough for you to hear. She smiled to keep the peace, even when it hurt. She clung to your words like oxygen, hoping you meant them this time. But the truth is, while you were teaching her how to beg, she was teaching herself how to walk away. She doesn't need you anymore because she discovered something more powerful than your approval. She discovered herself. And once a woman realizes she doesn't need saving, there's nothing more terrifying or more beautiful. At first, she didn't even realize how much of herself she was giving away. Every unanswered text, every broken promise, she internalized it. Maybe if she just loved harder, maybe if she was more patient, maybe then you'd finally show up. Psychologically, this is called anxious attachment. It happens when someone's self-worth is entangled in the unpredictability of another. You gave her just enough to keep her hoping, but not enough to keep her whole. And in that imbalance, she mistook survival for love. But love isn't supposed to feel like suffocating in silence. Love doesn't make you beg to be chosen. Then one day, something changed. She stopped reaching out, stopped over-explaining, stopped trying to convince you that she mattered. Not because she stopped loving you, but because she started noticing how little she was loving herself. That moment of pause, that quiet detachment, it wasn't weakness, it was awakening. When someone begins to heal, it rarely starts with fireworks. It starts with discomfort, sleepless nights, painful honesty. But slowly she began replacing self-doubt with self-trust. And that was the beginning of everything. She started rebuilding, not to become the woman you would want, but the woman she needed. She began journaling, walking alone, setting boundaries, losing friends, and outgrowing patterns. She stopped chasing closure and started giving herself answers. Real ones. The kind that come from solitude, not someone else's apology. This process is called individuation. It's what happens when a person separates their identity from others and reclaims their emotional independence. She didn't need your love anymore. She needed peace, and for the first time, she found it in herself. You might have thought she was just being distant, but the silence wasn't a punishment. It was freedom. While you were wondering if she'd text back, she was learning to be her own safe place. No more second-guessing. No more waiting for bare minimums. She was done making excuses for someone who made her feel like too much and never enough. What you didn't understand is that the woman who once waited for your love had already started walking toward her own, and once she reached it, she realized the love she wanted wasn't outside of her. It had always been within. She became the woman who held herself when she cried, who didn't shrink to be palatable, who didn't need validation to feel visible. She became softer but not weaker, quieter but not smaller, more loving but less available to those who couldn't meet her where she stood. You didn't lose her because you weren't enough. You lost her because she finally believed she was. And once a woman believes in her own worth, she becomes untouchable, not because she's hardened, but because she's finally healed. So if you're watching this wondering what happened, understand this. She didn't stop loving you out of bitterness. She stopped because she finally realized that her love was sacred, not something to be bartered for attention or crumbs. She needed herself more than she needed you. And if that sentence stings, maybe it's time to ask why you thought she ever needed you in the first place. Because the most powerful thing a woman can ever do is stop waiting to be chosen and choose herself instead. Subscribe to our channel. You're the reason we keep creating, growing, and moving forward. Thank you for watching.